The devil screws you coming and going. Let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Andy, and this is Andy Hoffer Coaching. And today we have a very special topic that I would like to talk to, and I think is one of the most important concepts to grasp in your life. If you can get this, you can dominate in any arena of your life. If you can get this concept integrated, learn that this is actually happening to you, then I think that all areas of your life can be transformed and you can have everything that you have ever dreamed of. So pay attention. This is like the topic to learn, okay? Today's topic is overcoming the chaos, how the devil is whispering in our ear and trying to get us to live in chaos. These little whispers create so much havoc in our life that it makes it almost impossible to win. It makes it almost impossible for us to navigate just daily stuff in our life without this little whisper. And I got to the point where I was just so sick of it that I was like, no, we got to figure this out. We got to figure this out now because I'm done with the chaos. Done. So in this chat today, we're going to talk about not only how to identify what is happening to us, but also I'm going to give you guys tools to overcome them, how to banish these deep, dark thoughts that the devil keeps implanting in our heads, and how to align ourselves with our true calling, our true nature, which is God. And we are going to really get in there and just change our lives dramatically. We're going to look at the 5 key moments when we are most vulnerable. And you probably have heard of this plenty of times, but I want to show you guys in the many ways in which it manifests in your life. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and hormonal problems like PMS, okay? And recognizing how these moments play in our lives goes a long way to overcoming them. So let's first talk about the illusion of power. The devil has no power. The devil has only the power that you give to him. God is bestowing upon you the power to create, the power to love, the power to be. The devil is just a whisper, a thought, an imagination, okay? And so when you are not in alignment with God, you are giving the devil your entire power. You are giving this person, this entity, this thing, power to control you, power to lead you in the direction that they want. What is it that they're feeding off of you? It's your power. So if you're surrendering your power and not to God, you're surrendering it to the other side. And we don't do that over here. So I'm going to help you guys reclaim that power and use it effectively in a way that's going to get you, again, to a place where you are aligned with God and that you are manifesting the things that you truly want. So as I mentioned, we have the 5 vulnerability points: hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and PMS, which I think is an absolute superpower, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So these are the first 4 points where chaos enters. Hungry. Now, hungry, yes, it could be for food, but it's a perceived lack of something. It's that there's something fundamentally inside of you that you are missing, whether it's love, food, water, like something that you crave that's on the external that you are hungry for. I'm hungry for notoriety. I'm hungry for fame. I'm hungry for money. I'm hungry because I don't have this thing and I want to bring it into me because it's going to fill some hole inside of me. And then we have lonely. Now, lonely is a disconnect from the essence of other people. So it could be friends, it could be family, it could be a lover. But really, I mean, you can be lonely when you're at home by yourself, yes, but you can also be lonely in a room full of thousands of people. It's really the disconnect from other people. So it's not about the quantity of people, but it's the actual deep connection that we should be cultivating in others. And when we do not have that, we feel lonely and tired. That is when you have reached your physical, mental, spiritual, financial end. It's like once the ego is out of the way because there's nothing else to do, there's nothing else that in your will and your power that you can do, that is a point when you're just like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired. I just need a break. I need to quit. I need to take a vacation. I need to stop this thing because if I keep going, if I keep doing this thing, I might actually break. It's that voice inside of you that tries to get you to stop, to not take another step. Angry. So angry is a life circumstance, a challenge that has come up in your life where you thought that you did everything correctly, the way that you were supposed to, and you had an expectation of something turning out in a certain way, and it didn't happen. Maybe your husband left you. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you got sick. But something in your life has thrown you a curveball and you are angry. Like you just do not want this thing in your life. It's frustrating and it brings up these really intense, powerful emotions of like, this should not be this way. It is an expectation that was not met and you're just like, F this. So what I'm going to propose to you right now might be a little controversial. But all of these negative emotions, these terrible thoughts, these things that you do not want in your life are actually good. Now, what does that mean? That means that that is the tuning fork. That is the thing that the devil is using in order to be able to point you in the direction of something else. He's trying to shine a light on somebody else. He's trying to shine a light on another situation. He's trying to shine a light elsewhere, externally, and not highlighting him. Oh no, never that. But once you recognize what is happening, you're like, where is that light coming from? Where is that tuning fork actually pointing to? Where is that thing actually trying to distract me to another sound, another place, another location? Where is that? So it's looking over there, but what should I really be looking at? And then when you come back, you're just like, oh yeah, absolutely. It's pointing directly at the devil's playground, which is you. And that's the thing, is that these negative, disempowering thoughts are never from God. Whenever you're sitting in the world thinking, I deserve better than this, you're basically saying God has given me crap because everything is God-given. And you're like, no, this gift from God is not good enough for me. I'm better than this. I deserve more. And so my assertion that these are good is because once you actually see what the process is, you're going to be like, oh, yes, okay, now I get to transform. I get to actually be closer to God because I'm having these emotions. I'm having these terrible, horrible, no good, very bad emotions. And I get to actually use this as a way to see where God is in my life. So we're going to get to that in a second, though. So let's just take a second to discern what is the devil and what is God. The devil is going to give you 1,000 reasons, 1,000 messages, 1,000 ways to look at something. It's over-explained, it's convincing, it's cajoling, it's conniving. It's loud, it's frantic, it's chaotic. It's all these crazy thoughts in your head that you feel tense, you feel contracted, you feel like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Everything just like coming at me. It's pointing the fingers at other people, or it's pointing the finger at you, but it's pointing the finger. And it's going to appeal to your ego and think things like, I deserve better, like I was just saying. But the voice of God is very different. It just gives you a command. It's not going to explain it. It's not going to convince you to do it. It's not going to beg you. It's not going to plead with you. It's not going to try to tell you every single which way it is to your benefit that you should follow it, because God needs no explanation. It's like, just do what I say. Because when you do what I say, you're going to have everything that you want. There is no other explanation. And there's a peace, serenity, and calmness that comes when you accept the word of God, when you accept when you accept the divine inspiration from God. You just feel so peaceful doing it. It's not hard work. It's not difficult. It's not a challenge. Everything gets out of your way. You just do it and it just works. And so now here's what we do with that. Here's what we do with all of this information about this crazy playground that is your life, where the devil is coming to play with you like a cat playing with a little toy, batting you around, making you feel crazy, making you feel like you have nothing in your life, making you feel like you're not making progress, making you feel like you deserve better because you don't have anything, making you feel just like everything in your life is a mess. But we're going to change that today, okay? Okay, step one is to witness. That means that we're going to notice that we're having these emotions, that we're having these thoughts. We're not doing anything yet. We're just having the conscious thought of, oh, okay, I'm having a negative emotion right now. We're separating ourselves from that emotion and we're seeing that it's happening, but we're not adopting the personality. So I feel angry versus I am angry. I feel the emotion of sadness, but I'm not sad. So we are really just taking a step back. Now, this is just doing this and witnessing that you're having these emotions and that they're just happening and that they are not actually you goes a long way. But there's still more to go. There's still more to actually work on. But this is step number one. And sometimes it's not going to happen right away. Sometimes you have the emotion, you kick, you scream, you cry, and then the next day, then you recognize it. And now for me, this took a while for me to get this like down pat. 10 years to be exact. But actually separating yourself from the emotion while you're having it is really, really hard because the devil wants you to believe that you are the emotion, that you are in the right, that you are having this emotion, that you are correct, that you are having this emotion, but it's not. It's just an emotion. So first thing is to witness it. Number two is to reject it. And that means that now that you see that you have had this emotion, now that you see that this emotion is happening, that it is physically in your body, that every cell in your body is feeling anger, pain, frustration, tired, lonely, all that wonderful stuff. Now that you're just like, I'm having this emotion. Now, the first thing to do is reject it. Say, I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore, because what you are doing is you are affirming that not only is this emotion separate from who you really are, but that is not the very essence of who you are. So it separates not only the fact that it's not you, but now you are empowering yourself to be able to change it. Psychologically, you're taking the stance that I can actually change this. When you say, I don't want this, you're psychologically, mentally, spiritually telling yourself that I can change this. So how do we actually change it? Next is to connect with God. So now you have witnessed it. Now you have said, I reject this notion that I have to feel this. Now is the time to connect with God. And how do we connect with God? Well, there's many ways. Writing, journaling, prayer, meditation. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm a big fan of meditation and journaling and prayer and all this wonderful stuff. So what's going to be good for you might not be good for me, because we have different ways we learn. We have different ways in which we release. And so you do these practices in order to be able to just release the pressure on the inside. You can say, and I have plenty of examples and plenty of ways in which you can do journaling. I'm going to actually put a link to my book in the comments that has different journaling techniques if you want to try those out. But, just Google it. There's plenty of stuff on the internet. There's plenty of stuff out there on YouTube where you can find different journaling prompts that can help you. The technology of prayer, just talking to God, but shifting the conversation from you to yourself, you to yourself, because it's really you speaking with that other person, that opponent, and shifting it to God and saying, God, at this point, I need for you to help me. I need you to show me the way. I need to get out of this negative loophole. So prayer, journaling, and meditation, wonderful ways in which you could connect with God. Now, there are other ways: singing, dancing, getting into a large body of water, going swimming, going to a lake, go to the ocean, just even sitting in your bathtub, but just really sitting there and saying, okay, we're not going to focus on these negative emotions, but we're going to take this moment and transmute it to a connection with God. So we've witnessed the emotion. We have said, I reject this emotion. Now we say, God, I need you to tell me how to get out of this emotion. And then something that you want to know is that when you receive the information from God, it's going to be very, very, very obvious that you're getting the directive from God and not from the devil. And how is that? Well, if you remember the matrix on what the devil says to you versus what God says to you, God does not cajole. God does not complain. God commands. He will give you a directive. And you will know you have received it by the profound peace that you get when you hear the words, when you feel the words, when the words come to you in that journaling, prayer, and meditation. That moment that you had that download from the ether, from God, you're just like, oh, yeah, okay. And then it's like everything gets swept away. There's just this profound peace. There's nothing that is creating chaos in you. Once God has given you the directive, the chaos is gone, but you have to get there. So we've witnessed it. We've rejected Satan. We've rejected Satan. And now we have received the word of God through different modalities, through different ways, because we have allowed ourselves to just be there in the moment and say, and you know what? Sometimes it doesn't even come in a moment. Sometimes it takes a day, a 2, 3, 4, a week, a month, a year. But you can't address it until you get that download. You can't address it until you keep begging God, say, God, I just need you to help me with this. I need you to help me understand. What am I blind to? What is happening? How come this brings me so much chaos? I don't want to be in chaos anymore. I want this to be fixed. I want this to be healed. I want this to be done in your name. Just please show me what I need to see. Doing that, oh my God, I think it comes so much faster, especially when you want to align your actions with the will of God. Once you really get that ego out of the way, it's wonderful. And the last piece of it is to obey. Once you get that directive, it might sound a little crazy to you. It might sound like that's impossible. It might sound like that's a lot of work. But you will transform your life if you follow that directive. If you listen to that peaceful, serene, calm message that you have gotten, your life is going to change radically. There's no doubt about it. You take your power back, and that power that you gain is going to fuel everything that you do from there on out. You shut down the negative experience. You shut down the hatred, the anger, frustration, the loneliness, the tiredness. You shut it all down. When you thought you couldn't take another step, you can go 20 more miles. When you thought you were alone, you're surrounded by love. When you thought you were hungry for more, you realized that you were filled with everything you could ever want. And when you thought the world let you down, you realized it was just opening up the best doors that you could possibly walk through. So just to review, okay? First, we're going to witness that they're having it. So it's like a feeling, an emotion negative is happening to you when you're just sitting there thinking, oh my God, I hate this. You're going to witness it. Okay. Next, you've witnessed it. You said, this is happening. I feel this emotion. This is in my body. And then you say, I don't want to feel that anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. I'm over it. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to figure this out. And you connect with God. You sit there, pray, journal, meditate, and think. You hand it over to God. You just, God, I can't do this. It's like my humanly power is just not enough to figure this problem out. Please figure it out for me. And then when you finally actually get your ego out of the way and received a digital download, you obey the command. And how do you know you got the command? Because an incredible, serene, peaceful feeling will wash over you the minute you get it. The promise here is that when you remove chaos, you make room for truth. You make room for beauty. You make room for love. You make room for everything that you really ever wanted. God cannot lie. And God has promised you everything. And it's time to start to trust that. So I want to give you guys a couple of examples of this in my life. So the first example of this, and I'm going to put a link to this video, but when I was living in Guatemala, I had somebody steal my wedding and in my engagement ring. It was a painter who had come to my house, and I was devastated. I know in the grand scheme of things that it's not a big deal. It was a ring. It wasn't expensive, but to me, it symbolized a lot of things. And what was the devil saying to me? How could you be so careless? How could you, you didn't care about this thing? Like, you don't deserve to be married. You don't deserve any gifts from your husband. Like, the devil was leaning in. And I remember I was crying and I was sobbing and I was really beating myself up. I was calling my husband, and my husband thought that I had been in an accident. And I'm full snot face, crying oh my God, my rings, they got stolen. And I told him the whole story. And my husband was like, it's just a ring. We can replace it. It's not a big deal. So just being loving and kind and very generous. And I was like, no, I hate myself right now. It was like a whole drama thing. And for 24 hours, I sat there berating myself for how dumb I could be. And I remember the next day thinking, you know what? I don't want to feel this anymore. I want to be in alignment. My husband has been very generous. I want to be very kind, but I still had this pain in my heart. And I said, God, I want to figure this out. I need to figure this out. But there was this pain in my heart that would just not let go. And I went to church the next day, and I go to church and I'm on my knees and we're praying the Our Father. And in the Our Father, it says, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And I again start sobbing because I knew that, I wasn't forgiving this person who stole my ring. And I said to God, God, please help me to understand what I need to do in order to remove this pain from my heart. Please just show me the way. Forgive him. And I start again sobbing because I don't want to do that. I don't want to F this guy. He stole my rings. How dare he? I said, but I have a choice. I either obey or I live in disobedience and keep feeding the devil. And so I said, well, I'm going to obey. And so I said, God, I forgive this man. That may he keep this ring, may he love this ring, if he gives it or if he sells it, whatever he does with it, please just bring joy and happiness to him. And also you too forgive him, okay? For he knows not what he does. Peace, love, joy, everything just washed over me. And I thought, that was what I was supposed to do. I knew in that moment there was no going to the police. There was no going to social media to blame the paint store. There was no revenge. There was nothing in my heart. I just knew all right, it's gone. It's okay. I'm okay. I go home, and 30 minutes later, the paint store shows up with my rings. Now, if you know anything about Guatemala, if you get robbed, your stuff's gone. There is no getting it back. There is nothing ever happening in any scenario for you to get the stuff back that got robbed from you. It just doesn't happen. All my family was flabbergasted that I got my rings back, that they were no way. I'm yeah, it just happened. And so that was the first way in which I knew that, the obedience is the part that's crucial here. So here's another, and this is the PMS part that I want to talk about, because I think as women, this is our superpower. PMS is our superpower. PMS is a thing that is bringing to us the knowledge, it's showing us exactly what is not working for us. And it is highlighting and putting that flashlight on those areas of our lives that aren't working. And we get to transform that. We get to fix it. We get to be better. We get to evolve. in that moment. And we get it every month. Wonderful. Now, for some, it hits more than others. And for me, like when I am PMSing, I am an angry little troll. Like, you don't want to be around me. You really don't. Not a morning person. If I haven't eaten, don't talk to me. If I haven't slept, don't talk to me. Like, I just want to be left alone. Like I struggled with this for so long. And I just remember one day I was like, I'm done. I'm done with my PMS. Like, I do not want to feel this anymore. And so I decided to do a little experiment on myself and how it actually works in the area of my marriage. And the first thing that I noticed was that, especially when I'm PMSing, I have thoughts like, I'm better than my husband. I deserve more than what he can give me. He's not doing what I want him to do. Why does he do that? Oh, why didn't he do that? And like, I just have all of these like really negative thoughts towards him. And I sat there and I was witnessing these thoughts and I'm like, I only have them 3 days out of the month. I mean, that's 36 days out of the year, which is a lot. So I got sick of it. And I was thinking, I'm like, what is it that I need to do in order to be able to get rid of this scenario? Like, I absolutely hate this. And so I connected with God. I sat there and I thought, God, I don't want to leave my husband. Like, I know I don't, but I'm having the thoughts that I should. And I like no other time except for when I'm PMSing, do I think like, are you trying to tell me to leave? And I prayed about this, and it didn't come right away. It did not come right away. It came to me, I think 2 years later to have the thought. So I had the thought that was follow through with it, but only in your mind. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, I don't even know what that means, but okay, whatever. The next time I had PMS, I witnessed it. Same thoughts. Ugh, what is he doing? Ugh, how dare he? Ugh, what are you doing? Don't talk to me like that. Why aren't you talking to me? Oh, I hate you. Ugh, what is wrong with you? Like all these negative thoughts. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm having the thoughts again. And I don't want to feel like this. But God told me to follow through with it, but just in my head. Okay, I'm going to break up with him in my head. So I broke up with my husband in my head. I filed for divorce. And the funny thing that happened was that the devil came in another direction because the devil doesn't like to lose his little playthings. And little did I know my marriage was his plaything. Because then I started having the thoughts of, well, you can't divorce him now because you're about to go on a trip together. You can't divorce him. Oh my God, the paperwork on changing your name is just too much. Oh my God, think of the tax implications. I'm like, wait a minute. Like 2 seconds ago, he was beneath me, but now I'm too lazy because I don't want to change my name. That doesn't make sense. And I'm like, oh, my marriage is the devil's playground. It's his little plaything. He's been toying with me and I got like so angry. And I was like, oh, this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. And this is when I started to transform other areas of my life because I started to notice that if the devil doesn't get you one way, he's going to get you the other way. If he doesn't get you coming, he's going to get you going. And I just thought, I'm like, oh, my new MO is just to apologize. Say, you know what? I'm so sorry. I feel so bad right now. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I can't help you right now. I'm sorry I can't be available right now. I love you. And just come from this loving, amazing place. And when I am totally PMSing, just hug my husband. Grab onto him for dear life and dear love. And the devil hated that. But I felt so much peace, love, and joy when I executed it because I said, God, what is happening? And the command came through. Love your husband. No ifs, ands, or buts, no convincing, no explanation. No, if you love your husband, this is going to happen. And I promise you this, and I promise you that, and you deserve this, and blah, blah, blah. No, God just said, love your husband. and I obeyed. And my husband and I, we have the best marriage that I've ever had in my entire life. And it's just because I followed this protocol. I follow this protocol every single time I come up with a challenge. And like, I have it posted on my windowsill. Like, everything that I do, I'm telling you guys, because I have lived it, I do this protocol every single time. I notice the feeling, I reject the feeling, I connect with God, and I obey God. And then from there, my life just radically transforms. So guys, this is just a friendly reminder. Keep your eyes always on God, because God's not going to send you those negative messages. When you keep your heart with God, you're going to know what the right thing to do is. What is the directive from Him? And how is it that you can have the life of your dreams? All right, guys, remember, I'm Andy. This is my email. Hit me up if you want to talk. That's my website, andyhoffercoaching.com. And if you'd like a free discovery call, hit that QR code. All right. Shoot me an email. Click the link in my bio. So many ways in order to get a free discovery call with me. Let's see how I can help you. How can I connect you with God? How can we get your life manifesting all the beautiful, wonderful promises that God has promised to you and really get you aligned? Okay. Love you guys.